Senator Joni Ernst, and I want to play for y'all the video of what took place when someone in the audience shouted out. Go ahead and play that.
When we're talking about the corrections in this reconciliation bill, again, it's corrections of overpayments and people that have not been eligible for these programs by law as it is currently written. So when you are arguing about illegals that are receiving Medicaid benefits, 1.4 million, 1.4, they are not eligible, so they will be coming off. So people are not, well, we all are going to die. So for heaven's sakes, folks, okay, no, but well, what you don't want to do is listen to me when I say that we are going to focus on those that are most vulnerable. Those that meet the eligibility requirements for Medicaid, we will protect.
And then, of course, she took to Twitter to respond. This is one of those moments, Raven, where, again, if you are Democrats, I mean, you leverage this, you use this, you do all you can to show you how, frankly, trifling Joni Ernst is and how uncanny Republicans are about these issues.
Roland, I think that's absolutely right. This is a prime opportunity for us to let them expose how they're lying, right? She said the quiet part out loud. Republicans do not care whether we live or die. Do you know how arrogant you have to be sitting in a room to serve your constituents and someone is telling you you are making decisions that are not compatible with my access to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, and to then look them in the face and say, well, we're all going to die one day? Are you kidding me? Absolutely not. Just bold-faced lies. This bill is not about protecting the most vulnerable. It's about exploiting the most vulnerable to put more money in the pockets of billionaires so they can buy their 15th and 16th yacht while we die because we're not able to get the access to healthcare that we need. And I think what's so incredibly frustrating to me is just the lack of moral and ideological consistency. I think of Medicaid, for example, and about 40% of births in this country are covered by Medicaid. So they want us to have more babies, but they don't want to make it financially accessible for us to do so. They want us to have more babies, but they want to cut SNAP benefits so we can't feed them when they get here. They want us to have more babies, but they don't want to implement comprehensive gun reform so that when they get here and they're in the classroom, they're actually able to be safe and learn safely and not have PTSD because they're exposed to violence that they never should be exposed to in the first place. Like, just the fundamental lack of moral and ideological consistency, I think, is really where we have an opportunity to get a home run here, because it's clearly on blatant display.
Congo?
I mean, the fact that she would not only say that, but double down right out of the Trump playbook and then go and record her response in a cemetery, Roland, on top of that, it shows how comfortable these guys think they are in their districts. And in addition to, the work that we need to do, hopefully these people who are mad and angry and chanting and everything will actually get out and vote themselves. But there, like you started a few segments ago, there are enough Democrats, especially enough Black Democrats, that can give us the majority in the House, that can give us the majority in the Senate, if people would get out and just see things like this. And this has to be the job of the Democrats to make sure that between this, there was another senator, a Republican senator, who said something to the effect of the best health care is a job. I mean, it's like the things that they say that are so out of touch with the people, but if the people aren't hearing it, if the people aren't seeing it, then they can get away with saying whatever they want, because we know that Fox isn't going to cover this, or OANN, and so on and so forth. And if people are getting a lot of their news from various sources that don't cover this, they're not going to see this. This is the job of the Democrats. Why aren't more of them down at the Capitol? Why aren't more of them with Reverend Barber, talking about these particular issues and making themselves be known? I don't know if any of them have gotten arrested recently or gotten close to it, but they have the ability. They have a bigger microphone than they act like they do. And if they're not going to take advantage of this, Republicans are just serving it up, Roland. It's like every day it's something different. A few weeks and months ago, chainsaw to bureaucracy with Elon Musk. Like, you could run down the list. And if they don't take advantage of it, again, 2026, or any special election that's coming up between now and then, our election to lose.
But y'all, her statement was just crazy. And then, as Omakongo said, she did it, y'all. She did it in a cemetery. I mean, how arrogant can you be? But
Roland,
again,
she also equated to a tooth fairy, Roland. I was hoping you were going to get the audio so folks can hear from her own lips. Not only she's in a cemetery, but then she says, well, it's a good thing that I didn't start talking about the tooth fairy. A tooth fairy. A tooth fairy, she's equating death with a tooth fairy. They're not only out of touch, Roland, they're incompassionate, they're not fit to or deserving with the titles that we call them. She's not deserving to be a United States Senator. I was hoping you get the audio because that's the part that really got me upset when she said, it's a good thing I didn't start talking about the tooth fairy.
Yeah, well, they look, they're bundling. The people, this is what happens when look, elections matter. Elections absolutely matter, and I hope people remember this when they go to the ballot box. I hope they remember how shameful with her actions, because this is who they are. All right, let's go ahead and play it.
Hello, everyone. I would like to take this opportunity to sincerely apologize for a statement that I made yesterday at my town hall. I was in the process of answering a question that had been asked by an audience member when a woman who was extremely distraught screamed out from the back corner of the auditorium, "People are going to die." And I made an incorrect assumption that everyone in the auditorium understood that, yes, we are all going to perish from this earth. So I apologize. And I'm really, really glad that I did not have to bring up the subject of the tooth fairy as well. But for those that would like to see eternal and everlasting life, I encourage you to embrace my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
Wow, talk about it. Now we had Bishop Barber on the show a little bit earlier, but he was preaching this weekend, and he did give a response. So I want to go ahead and play what he said from the pulpit in response to what that nutcase said.
At a town hall in Iowa this weekend, just yesterday, someone interrupted Senator Joni Ernst. It's going to be on TV if it hadn't already hit it, with the reality of what this bill means. And they asked her question. This is Iowa now, and understand now in Iowa, not black folk not out there. That's why you can't just address what's going on now from just a race critique. You got to have a fusion critique where you bring white folk and black folk and brown folk and Asian and Native, all of us together in this moment. So way out in Iowa, one of the people out there, I don't know if it was a farmer or what, said to Senator Joni, "People are going to die. If you pass this bill, people are going to die." And it was exactly right. Her response was, well, we all going to die. Literally, that was her response. But then she went further. She went on the social media and said something to the effect that I'm asking forgiveness for anybody that didn't like my language about dying, but people are going to die, and so if you need me to, I'll introduce you to Jesus Christ. So that you'll be okay in eternity. Do you know that's the same language that the slave master used to say to slaves? Don't worry about your slavery now. You just know Jesus. And the problem was the slaves already knew Jesus, and they know Jesus didn't talk like that. And that's why they used to sing a song, everybody talking about heaven and going there. Why did that person, though, stand up and say people are going to die? If this bill is passed as it is, 13.7 million people would lose Medicaid and their health insurance. Now, who are we talking about with Medicaid? First of all, how many of y'all know somebody on Medicaid? Raise your hand. Yeah, know somebody. And probably some folk in here on Medicaid. Medicaid protects children with Lou Gehrig's disease. Medicaid protects children that have life-ending renal disease. Medicaid protects people who don't have enough money to afford insurance, but it protects them, the disabled people. It protects all the way down. There's not a disease that we have that Medicaid doesn't touch in some way. And they want to cut 3.7 million people off of health care. Now, here are the numbers. For every 500,000 people you cut off health care, 2,500 to 2,900 die. We didn't get Medicaid until the 1960s. And so they're talking about health care, taking health care from the most vulnerable Americans. And the people that are talking about it are people who serve in public offices that get free health care. Come on, somebody. I'm trying to preach so y'all don't cuss, because it'll make you cuss. And I don't want y'all cussing in the service, you know. But you think about who's doing this. The people who, all they had to do was get elected. And once they got elected, they got access to the best health care. Not only is it free, you pay for it, I pay for it. And when you get free health care paid for by the people, but you're so cynical to say, well, we're all going to die. You are engaging in what they call necropolitics, the politics of death and murder. And when you don't care, we all have to ask the question, what mythology, what sickness, what has gotten hold of you? What has entered you that all you can think to do with power is hurt somebody? But we can't just keep analyzing why they're doing it. We also have to say, we will not just sit here and die.
Hello, I'm Isaac Hayes III, founder and CEO of Fanbase. Listen to what I'm about to tell you. The window to invest in Fanbase is closing. We've raised over $10.6 million of our $17 million goal. That means there's room for less than 6,370 people to invest in Fanbase for the average amount. The minimum to invest in Fanbase right now is $399. That makes you an owner in Fanbase today. Go to startengine.com/fanbase to invest. Why? Because current social apps have taken advantage of users for far too long, with content suppression, shadow banning, harmful racist content, and no real tools for monetization and equity. Fanbase has over 1.4 million users and counting, allowing anyone to reach all their following and monetize their content from day one. Social media is the new TV, and whoever owns the apps that distribute that content have the opportunity to own potential billion-dollar companies. While big platforms with uncertain futures are failing to serve their users, Fanbase is stepping up to fill the gap. Don't wait until it's too late. Invest now, invest for yourself and your future. Go to startengine.com/fanbase and own the next generation of social media.